Done, Sakshi, you can start now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to the world's biggest digital space conference this year, organized by SDNx and Helium Learning Labs. My name is Sakshi. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Space Development Nexus and your host for today. This year's theme, the role of space education and research in emerging nations, was adopted to put a spotlight on the space activities in emerging nations and empower them further. We expect that through this summit, the students and young space professionals can get guidance with their education and career. SDNx Foundation was established in the year 2013 with the purpose of making space accessible to everyone through its initiatives and educational projects supported by space research and development. Helium Learning Labs, who are our organizing partner, are an EdTech company that aims to establish a world-class space school to fill the gap between space education and the space industry, to train students for the future space workforce. Now introducing the wonderful speaker for today, Ms. Mirta Medanić is a program manager at IST Technologies, a provider of complex software solutions and innovative software products for the satellite ground segment industry. At IST, she manages several EU-funded projects. One of them is Blink, a software solution for ultra-fast acquisition and processing of Earth observation data, granted by the Horizon 2020 program for innovative SMEs in the space sector. Mirta holds a master's degree in telecommunications and computing from the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computer and Computing, the University of Zagreb. She completed the Space Studies program at the International Space University. She is an SGS National Point of Contact in Croatia, 2017 to 2021. She hosted a webinar series in Croatian about space as an interdisciplinary field. She's passionate about working with people and traveling. Thank you, Ms. Mirta, for joining us today. We are honored to have you here. The stage is all yours. Please introduce yourself and then go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you, Sakshi, for these wonderful and kind words and introduction. I would like to welcome the audience of Global Space Summit 2021 for my presentation. I am a space enthusiast. I work in the space industry for 7 years, and I will be happy to spread the knowledge and my experiences working in this really exciting field. Should I start the presentation now? Please tell me if you see my slide.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now I will start with the presentation. So again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone who is watching. Welcome to the Space Education and Research in the Republic of Croatia, a presentation that I will give today. My name is Mirta Medanić, and like Sakshi introduced, I'm a national point of contact in Croatia from 2017 to 2021 as Space Generation Advisory Council. It is a global network of students and young professionals in the space industry, and it has more than 15,000 members in 150 countries all around the world, in all the regions and all the continents, that are working together to bring the voice of young professionals to space agencies, UN corpus, space companies, industry, academia, science, and etc. Before I start with the presentation, I would like to give the general message to everyone, and that is that talents are spread all around the world, no matter the level of development of the country. And therefore, on the other hand, not all have the same level of opportunity to learn, to build skills, to find a job, and to work, and at the end achieve self-actualization and content in themselves. So I think that this kind of event, like Global Space Summit, is very important because The organizers, the Development Nexus Foundation and Helium Learning Lab, bring us together to address this important topic. So thank you to the organizers. Today, I have three main goals of this presentation. The first one is to introduce you to Croatia, to space activities in our country, and opportunities for students and young professionals. And this is the second goal for me today. I know that this presentation will look space enthusiasts, professionals, students, and so on. Space is for all. It is a global activity, and it requires specialists from all fields and field of expertise to work together to achieve the mutual goals for humanity. So I would like to encourage you to keep up. So about Croatia. Croatia is a country in Central and Southeast Europe. You can see on this graphic here. It is surrounded with Italy, Austria, Hungary, Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Montenegro. It is a republic governed under a parliamentary system, and it has a population of around 4 million people, ranking on the world scale 127 position, and it also has a GDP of 56.8 billion US dollars, so ranked on the 81st place worldwide. The capital city is the city of Zagreb. It is located on the continental part of Croatia, and on this image on the right side you can see Croatia. It is a country that is a coastal country. It has around 1,000 islands and islets, and we can say that something that is our attribute is that we have really rich biodiversity and different kind of terrain. So we have sea, coast, mountains, and land. Tourism is one of the significant economic sector in Croatia. Maybe some of you already visit. So Croatia is well known for sports, for tourism, for biodiversity, nature, and so on. But today I would like to speak about some important persons from our history who did some significant research and inventions. So I would like to mention briefly some of them. So the first one here on this photo, we have Dragutin Gorjanović Krambergen, who was born in 1856, and he was a Croatian geologist, paleontologist, and archaeologist. And in 1899, on Hušnjak Hill, near the Croatian town of Krapina, he discovered a very rich Neanderthal site of an early man today known as Krapina man. So very near Zagreb, there today there is a museum who is dedicated for this important discovery. The second one is Roger Joseph Bošković, who was born in 1711. He was a physicist, astronomer, mathematician, philosopher, diplomat, poet, theologian, and polymath from Republic of Ragusa, which is today's Dubrovnik area. And he produced a precursor of atomic theory and made many contributions to astronomy, including the first geometric procedure for determining the equator of a rotating planet from 3 observations of a surface feature, and for computing the orbit of a planet from 3 observations of its position. And in 1753, he also discovered the absence of atmosphere of the moon. The third important person in Croatia is Herman Potočnik. He was born in 1892, and he was Slovene rocket engineer born in Pula in Istria, Croatia, and he was pioneer of astronautics. He is remembered for his work addressing the long-term human habitation of space.
Here on the left side, we have Nikola Tesla. Most of you probably already know about him. He was a Serbian-American inventor, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and futurist, best known for his contributions to the design of the modern alternating current electrically supply system. And he was born in a village Smiljan in today's Croatia. Here in the middle, we have Andrija Mohorovičić. He was born in 1857, and he was Croatian geophysicist. He is best known for the eponymous Mohorovičić discontinuity and is considered as one of the founders of modern seismology. And last, I would like to mention one event from history related to space and near-Earth objects, which is Hraščina, the official name of iron meteorite that fell in 1751 near the Hraščino village in Hrvatsko Zagorje, Croatia, also near Zagreb. This meteorite is important because it was the first fall of an iron meteorite viewed and reported by a significant number of witnesses, despite its low remaining total known weight. And the Hraščino meteorite also proved the rocks really can fall from the skies. So from these short 6 stories from Croatian history, you can see the importance, but also these events and these persons can provide motivation for today's young inventors and scientists. And speaking of that, I would like to mention some of the modern companies who are showing a significant growth and success in their work. And these are ICT companies from Croatia, from the field of electric hypercars and batteries, from the field of robotics, telecommunication and communication services, precision agriculture, artificial intelligence, and computer vision, gaming industry, navigation system, etc. So speaking about all of this, it is a really good basing point for development of high technologies, but also space. Speaking about space activities, Croatia is still a non-spacefaring nation, which means that it hasn't launched a satellite yet, and also it hasn't launched an astronaut into space. So what we have in Croatia is that first I would like to mention about the legal framework. Croatia is a member of European Union. It is also a member of World Trade Organization and NATO. And entering the European Union in 2013, it was a really important step for Croatia, not also because of culture and politics, but also economy, because Croatian companies, institutes, and non-profit organizations have an opportunity to think about innovative projects and to ask for support from EU funding programs. Usually those kind of programs are supporting beneficiaries with from 50 to 70 and sometimes also 100% of all project costs. So if those projects are in line with the European strategy and strategic goals, they can contribute in the development, not also of Europe, but also for a country like Croatia. Here I would like to mention 3 flagship projects from science and industry that are funded by European Union funds. One is from the science field, the field of astronomy, and it is funded by European Research Council, starting grant, and the project manager of this project was Vernesa Smolcic, a PhD in astronomy, who is a professor at Science University in Zagreb. This project is very important for Croatian scientists. The second one is from the field of Earth observation and downstream applications from Croatian Forest Research Institute. The application is called My Sustainable Forest. And last one is Project Blink that I would like to tell you more about. It is a project actually that I had opportunity to be part of. It is developed by company Infinity Technologies. It is a company that has 20 years of heritage working in the software part of the industry and developing ground segment software solutions for satellite operators like SES and the biggest global satellite operator based in Luxembourg, also the O3B, other 3 billion satellite service provider. And also the company is working with manufacturers of ground segment equipment, with space agencies, humanitarian agencies on custom-made projects. And in the recent years, the companies started to develop their own products for the space industry and in the field of monitoring and control for the ground segment, and also mobile applications for various steps in the process of assembling and setting up the terminals on the ground. And the project that got EU fund, grant from the EU program Horizon 2020 is Project Blink. It is ultra-fast satellite data acquisition software solution who, in the really high speeds, acquires the data and processes it and send it to the end users for further processing and etc. So it is important to mention the successful projects. In the last few years, they're presenting best practice for others to join and to start to use this really fruitful funding for innovation and research. And now we are coming to the second legal framework, part of the legal framework, and this is the cooperation with European Space Agency. So Croatia signed cooperation agreement in 2018, and the Ministry of Science and Education in Croatia is dedicated to lead this agreement with European Space Agency. So what does this mean for a country like Croatia? The European Space Program is governed by big institutions like European Commission, European Space Agency, and the new entity which is called USPA. And basically, European Space Agency is the important part that is developing the capabilities, the systems, the technical part, the technology part of the space program. So members, so stakeholders from the member states of European Space Agencies can bid to implement these satellite systems. So for Croatia, this was a very important step because Croatian ICT companies and others can propose innovative projects that could be used in these satellites and space systems. First, the European Space Agency call in Croatia was announced and completed in February 2021, and now we are receiving results from this call. So as you can see, Croatia is at the beginnings and some first steps are already taken. To provide support to this change from a non-spacefaring to emerging space nation, there is an NGO, non-profit, non-governmental organization called Adriatic Aerospace Association, which has the name to provide support in international collaboration, in policy and law and strategy development, and also to start research and innovation project. One of them is a CubeSat project Peron 1, which is a 2-unit CubeSat, which has a payload camera as a payload for Earth observation. And this is the best kind of project to develop competencies and know-how, because not a lot of it is not it's very costly, but you can the teams can learn a lot and demonstrate the technology in this way. The other very important activities of Adriatic Aerospace Association are a popularization of STEM fields and space outreach. So members are organizing events to promote and to speak about space science and technology, and also about the good examples and supporting the career development. Organization also organizes conferences. We have ADRIA Space Conference and Viruni Conference. And these are biannual conferences that are bringing together experts in Croatia, but also Adriatic region and worldwide, to speak about space and to start, hopefully, some mutual projects. So how we can build a competitive society and successful society, we need to have a good education system. In Croatia, we have public universities in basically any big city in Croatia, so Zagreb, Osijek, Rijeka, Split, Zadar, Pula, Dubrovnik, Varaždin, Koprivnica. Last year, the project for developing Center for Innovation and Space Technologies was signed and started in Sisak, and also in Đurđevac, in one vocational school. We have really rich and active community of high school students who are experimenting with technologies for space. And in that public universities, students can learn about electrical engineering, computer science, medicine, geodesy, transportation and traffic sciences, biology, maritime studies, geology, and all other STEM fields. And from the University of Zagreb, they started also a CubeSat project called FairSat, which is another unique student project, which has one of the functionalities of this satellite is to monitor the light pollution on Earth. And now the actual opportunities for students and young professionals in Croatia, but also in the region. What can one young person between 18 and 35 years old do if in their country there is no comprehensive space program? Can he or she learn or pursue a career in the space industry or not? But my answer is absolutely yes. There are many opportunities today in this. We are the IT society, digitized society. We have access to knowledge via internet, and this is what we can do, at least from our homes. And I would like to mention Space Generation Advisory Council, SGSC, as the one way how to engage in the space industry from your home country. So Space Generation Advisory Council, it is an organization that was established 20 years ago at UNCOPUOS, Committee for Peaceful Uses of Outer Space in Vienna, Austria. So professionals from all around the world invited young community and provided a space for them to talk about space and to think about what is the voice of youth and opinion of youth about space, in which direction should global space activities go. And they have decided to establish an organization called SGC to bring together all professionals from all around the world. The organization is divided in regions, so European, Asian, Pacific, North America, Latin America, and Africa. And if we go down in this hierarchy, we have on the national level. So each country have their own group and opportunities. So in Croatia, at the moment, we have around 15 active members who are helping to organize conferences, who are meeting regularly, who are applying for competitions, working together, solving problems at space competitions and hackathons. And also they prepared so they prepared a citizens' request for including space science and technology as a strategic goal in the national development strategy of the Republic of Croatia until 2030. So this is the power that team has to do something really remarkable and to contribute to the national aspects and national questions. SGC in Croatia also signed a memorandum of understanding with Adriatic Aerospace Association, and also is cooperating with ministries and governmental institutions and supporting them. In Croatia, there is also a small group of participants of the International Space University as well, and this number is growing. Our recent activity is SGC Croatia webinar series. It is 8 webinars about space as an interdisciplinary field. So we have decided to show how space is diverse and which fields are important to be developed to have a complete and strong project or program. So these are humanities, engineering, science, applications, humans in space, diplomacy, and business. And you can have a look on YouTube at channel Space Generation. This webinar series brought together local experts. So it was held in Croatian, but soon we plan to prepare English subtitles so we can, so our message can come to everyone in the world. We also have a Facebook group, so if you would like to join us, click at Space Generation Advisory Council Croatia. Unfortunately, at the moment we are communicating in Croatian, but if you want to learn more or got in contact with us, feel free to join us there. And with this, I would like to conclude my presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Recently, I started Facebook and social media broadcasting and posting about space and other stories with hashtag space and other stories. So find me online. I would be happy to continue conversation and keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mirta. That was wonderful. So moving on to the interview part, and just to know you more as well, and what are the activities that have been going in Croatia. So my first question is, what are the flagship space outreach projects and activities in Croatia, so that students can get more familiar to the following, and if you want to discuss more about that.
Yes, I would definitely want to say first for young professionals in Croatia and any other country, for example, the good thing is to go to the website of Space Generation Advisory Council. So it is spacegeneration.org. And the organization provides team projects there in various fields. So there are 10 team projects or project groups divided in different fields of expertise. And there, students and young professionals can get in contact with other professionals all around the world and start working together. Also, one good example is to organize the conference together to meet people and to get in contact, because working in teams and collaboration is very important for success, I think. And but I would like to also show three flagship space outreach projects. Let me again show my screen, because I think it is really worth mentioning them. Let me know if you see my slides.
Yes, we can see your slides. Yep.
So besides HGAC, we also have a worldwide project which is called World Space Week. It is a global initiative to promote space and STEM during 1 week in the year, from 4th of October to 11th of October. So these dates are marking important dates in space history. First one is signing the Outer Space Treaty, and the first one is actually launching of the first artificial satellite, Sputnik, and the other one is signing the Outer Space Treaty, so 11th of October. So during this 1 week, the World Space Week organization is supporting local professors and enthusiasts to organize events for students, young professionals, and general public, and to popularize space and science. So you can see two presentation, one in the kindergarten. You can see little astronauts. By the way, they developed their costumes by themselves with their teacher. And the other one is at the university. So the audiences were young students. Within World Space Week, there is also competitions, and Croatian applicants were very successful so far. So 1 year, one student from Croatia proposed the design of a poster of World Space Week. So throughout the whole year, his design was shown all over the world on the promo materials of World Space Week. The second project that I would like to mention is a platform that is called AstroCheoniksa. I already mentioned Vanessa Smolcic, who is really talented and passionate and a hardworking individual. And besides working in the science, researching about galaxies and development of space and galaxies, she's also doing a research space outreach projects, and one of them is her platform AstroCheoniksa. In English, it is like a space or astro school. It is the website where you can learn about various space topics, really relevant and interesting, and for everyone. Basically, you don't need to have an expert to understand space, solar system, space environment, galaxies, and etc. And here you can see a small snapshot from her latest blog post about Croatian astrophysicists. So it is important that she promotes space and science within for women and young girls. And the last one is the Vishna Observatory and the Vishna Astronomy Society. It is an organization who is contributing to the worldwide monitoring of near-Earth objects. And during the summer, they are organizing astronomy school for young professionals, students, and so on. So for every generation, there are and for everyone, there are opportunities in the space sector. That would be all for this question.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mirta, to answer that question in such a descriptive way as well. I'm sure that a lot of students would be interested to join on these outreach projects. And what was your career path like? I'm really keen on understanding, what was your career path and what was your journey has been, until now, so that people can know if they want to follow the same path. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the question. I started to work in the space industry 7 years ago, and before that, I worked in the ICT industry in Croatia for 5 years. And from the first few weeks at Infinity Technologies, I was really interested in space industry, space business, not only in software development. And since Infinity is a beneficiary of EU funds for internationalization, the company is contributing and participating to space exhibitions worldwide. And on one such exhibition, I was introduced with Space Generation Advisory Council. So for the last 4 years, I am supporting the organization and providing connection between local communities and SGC and vice versa. And also during that time, I had an opportunity to go to the International Space University during 2 months in 2019 to learn more about space. And I also joined Adriatic Aerospace Association as a member to support the organization in business development activities. And as we talked before, I really like to learn, to travel, and work with people. And you can see here some of my experiences at Satellite Show in Washington with my colleagues, where we were presenting our software products. Here with my colleagues from the Policy, Economics and Law Department at International Space University, Space Studies Program 2019. I even had an opportunity to, during 2-day workshop, to build a small CubeSat from scratch with my team. It was very exciting for me and a really great opportunity. And I was also I got a scholarship from EUMETSAT, which is European Meteorological Satellite Operator from Darmstadt, and you can see I had an opportunity to visit their offices, and very, very grateful and excited for this experience. And what I think was significant in my path is persistence and believing that everything is possible. So this that I would like to share with everyone who is watching.
Thank you, Ms. Mirta. Thank you for joining your journey with us. I would also like to ask you, like, what does space mean to you, and how does you perceive space, and how did it change your life? Because all of us here, in the space industry, and people who want to be in the space industry, would like to know that, what did it do for your life, and how do you connect to space?
Thank you. So it means a lot, and it changed me a lot, and in maybe not a conventional way. So usually young children got interested in space science, astronomy, astrophysics by watching night sky with telescopes, watching science fiction movies. I got interested in it little bit later. I'm more interested and inspired by nature. So I see a very big potential of using space systems in tackling climate change and environment protection and efficiency in everyday life on Earth. And I can say that I, witnessed my own overview effect while I started to work in the space industry. When I was in the nature, like on the seaside or in the mountains, my mindset changed. So I was thinking about the protection, about eliminating plastic packaging in my life, to consume less. So I'm riding a bike. I'm a bike kind of person. I try to be active physically, but also decreasing the heat in the city and enjoy more by commuting by bike. I also plant at home the flowers and herbs, and I also try to eliminating how many things I consume by practicing slow fashion, and I'm also I also have a profile online where I exchange clothes with people who like it and who might need it, so I don't produce a lot of textile waste in the landfill. So this is how space impacted me. Besides the all educational or international collaborations that I have with colleagues around the world, this is like a personal impact on me.
No, definitely. I think we all need to, go forward and do something for climate, and space is a very big part of that. To how can we tackle climate change? It's happening right now. Like before we leave, for Mars or any another planet to become multiplanetary species, it's really important that we also save Earth at the same time, because and scientists haven't found a planet like Earth until now. So it's a long way even to settle down on Mars, and we do not want to basically destroy Earth before that. So yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Mirta, for that your insightful presentation on those questions as well. So, a personal question that I had in my mind is that, because we all there are so many inspiring women in the space industry I look up to personally as well, that they have been doing such great job, but since the space age started in the 1960s, 1950s, there have been only few women who have been into space, or generally in developing nations, a lot of girls and women struggle getting into STEM related fields, and also space sciences. So what kind of steps can we take towards make sure that women have equal opportunity, and what is your opinion about this?
Well, it seems it would be an easy question, but I think actually not, because not every environment have the same approach to girls and to stereotypes. I think from my experience, I was always encouraged to pursue a STEM career. I started as I started as a software engineer, but I was more interested in different fields like law, policy, and administration and business. So actually, I did this transition from STEM to business. But maybe this is not just a question for girls, but for everyone, to experiment and to not to think about career as just, it shouldn't be always just one profession. It can be various, and also to experience and always have this growth mindset. So be open for learning and taking opportunity for take any opportunity that you have, learning online, reading books, meeting people who inspires you, and hang out with them. And if in your community, if there is no space industry, you can start it. And you don't have a role model, you can be a role model. You can be the first one. So don't be discouraged because there are not many women in your community. Find a role model in yourself and follow this instinct and work hard. I think that working hard and persistent is a really important part for boys and for girls, I think.
Definitely. I think that the word, equality will come when, women and men perceive things, equally. So yeah, moving on to, the next question. You mentioned that, you had this transition between, STEM and business, right? Because you were interested in these things as well. And as I know that, the space industry is getting very interdisciplinary as well. And a lot of careers are coming up related to space law, policy, diplomacy, and other careers as well. So what is a career you're most excited about, and that is coming up, and like what kind of other careers can student opt for in the new space age?
But definitely one of the exciting careers at the moment are for space lawyers, since we can witness a lot of new, very exciting deep space missions and projects that are including humans in space and discovering new lands like Mars and the Moon. The regulation and fair and secure space exploration will be very important. So human rights, justice, peace, providing peace and good regulation and good coordination and organization is very important, not only for human space missions and deep space exploration, but also low Earth orbit. A lot of new satellite constellations are coming. So we are responsible for the next generations to provide them secure environment where they can also do a research. So, and also climate change and so on. And the other interesting type of professions that maybe was not existed, for example, 10 or 20, 30 years ago, is data science. So we have a lot of data. So, for example, Earth observation, network information, geo-information, and so on. And we have really advanced space systems. So using this data and these systems and services to provide services and products for other sectors and everyday life, and do this digital transition, which is mindful for the environment and also society. This is very important. So data scientists and people who can make use of these assets.
Thank you for that answer. One thing I was really curious about is that you mentioned, collaboration with ESA, in your presentation. So, is there something that, some upcoming projects or, anything that is coming up, in Croatia, with this collaboration, or is there, what do you think about, the government getting involved with the private industry and that kind of collaboration with a startup or a government a government-based organization. Yeah.
So definitely the collaboration with European Space Agency and other international organizations is an important step because we are entering a broad market, and we also have access to tenders and funding programs. And this is important because one thing, so at the beginning of my presentation, I said that the tourism is a very important sector in Croatia and in Croatian economy, but especially in the time of, for example, COVID pandemic, countries who do not have other develop other sectors are not very resilient to these the global challenges and health challenges. So having access to innovation and research projects and programs, a country like Croatia can develop competencies and know-how to be able to develop value-added projects and services who could survive even in these difficult times where we have global pandemic and other challenges. For example, last year we also had the challenge of earthquakes. We have 2 big earthquakes in Zagreb and Sisak, who really shaken the community and also the economy. When you start to collaborate in this international field, you need to work harder on efficiency, regulation inside the country and in the government. So yes, I think that space can be used for economic development of one nation.
Definitely, I think education, whenever the space ecosystem is growing here in India as well, and I can just see the change because 2 years before, 3 years before, it just wasn't there. Like, we wouldn't hear a lot about space activities or space startups or something like that. And now it's everywhere. Like in the 6 to 7 months, there has been so many things that have been going on. For example, today is a very big day for us because we're entering the realm of space tourism. With the Virgin Galactic mission, that I'm truly excited about, and going to see that live at 6:30 today. And just for a fun question, how excited are you about the mission, and what do you think that will mean for us as human beings and humanity?
Wow, it is a tough question. It is a very important step, and I try to think positive, and that it will be manageable, and that we will all benefit from it.
No, definitely. I mean, yeah. Let's see what happens. Finger crossed. And anything, something that I want to ask is, you told me that I wasn't exactly inspired by science fiction or all these books or stars, or that is what I hear. So that was very interesting for me. So is there a particular movie though that you are really do you like in any sci-fi space related movie?
Yes. So for the last couple of years, I had this speed. I had to see a lot of movies because it was part of the job basically. And yes, I like them a lot, and I like a movie Alien. Yeah. And of course Star Trek and Star Wars. And yeah.
I think
maybe I can remember more, but I was very surprised with this question.
No, I mean, this is just a fun question, just so that before we can go to the last question, that is that what advice do you want to give to students and young professionals who are watching your session right now, to who want to be in the space industry, who want to follow their dreams?
I would like to tell them that space is for all, no matter the gender, the country of origin, or professional background and aspiration, and space needs needs a soul. So don't be afraid, work hard, be persistent, and the results will come at the end. And the important is that you are happy and that you feel good by yourself, and everything else will come to place.
Thank you, Ms. Mirta. Thank you for this wonderful session today. Your insights are really valuable to us, and I'm pretty sure a lot of students and young professionals are going to connect with you. Good luck for all your projects and with SGSE, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Shama, is the live done? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shama. So you can stop recording as well. I just